Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. It's an episode here on Custom Carbros, and in this episode we're going to be jumping back on and fixing one of our old mistakes. This is an old one wheel that I built, so we've designed the new one, but exactly why does this old one not work? The reason this thing didn't work is because it ran off of a 2 amp 20 volt max standard, like literally the ones that come with most drills battery, and it wasn't even the new version, it's just the old version, the black ones, and it never would have worked. Alright, so enough talk, let's see if we can fix it. Alright, so we've removed that, but fun fact, without that motor it is perfectly balanced. It's actually really cool. So yeah, that was definitely my bad by placing that in the one side. Now we're gonna go ahead and start building the chassis. If you decide to try to build this, I recommend you tack weld it first and then fully weld it later, so that way you make sure everything lines up. Alright guys, so we went ahead and we removed this screw right here. We also made that frame right there, but we removed the screw with the gear on the top. As you can see, those parts are right here. And now we're gonna go ahead and actually clean off all this grease off this wheel, and we're gonna weld this washer, try to center it and weld it. And what that would allow us to do actually is turn the motor upside down, put it in that hole, like put this knob right here in that hole, and then use this nut on the other side to actually tighten the wheel to this. But that won't be the only thing supporting it, or else it would definitely break. But the other thing that's going to be supporting it is on the other side. There's going to be a bearing rod which will slide in with the other half of the assembly. We might cut this back off and make it where you can slide on, bolt on and off if we ever need to remove the wheel itself. But anyways, that's a pretty simple, I think, idea. So let's go ahead and continue. Alright guys, so we've got it all welded, but yeah, it actually like started smoking really bad and catching on fire, and I think it's that grease. There must have been some on the inside or something like that, and it caught on fire, and now the whole garage stinks. We're letting it air out for the next probably 30 minutes to an hour, so that'll be the wrap for now. See you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so we're going to see if we can make the 8-inch like foot pads. They're about 8 inches wide. We'll see if we can make one of those for each side, and then we'll get them welded on as well, so we can just keep them on going. Alright guys, so we are building this foot pads, and we realized we took some of our batteries and some of our other components that we're going to be using in the setup, and we realized that it's got this little gap between the two, so if I were to put a panel on the bottom, it would actually set up into your foot pad that's going to be made out of wood. So we ended up going to Ace, and we bought ourselves some 1/2 inch by 3 foot steel, just some regular weldable steel, and this will basically just run around the foot, and they'll allow it to drop down, so we can mount all the batteries and we can still have a nice thin and slim design. Originally I was going to try to bend the metal to the shape, but that would just been really hard, so I'm not doing that. But actually for the back panel, we're using this thing right here. It's just some L metal, and we might actually put some lights in all those holes. The power button will probably be in one of those holes because it is a 1/2 inch power button, and those are 1/2 inch holes. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to welding. We're gonna let her cool down. Alright guys, so it's the next day and it's cooled down, so now we're gonna go ahead and keep on going. We still need to weld on these 1/2 inch bars all around these foot wells, and then we need to make the entire other one. So let's stop talking and let's go ahead and continue. Alright guys, so now that we've got this other side built and we got these actual spacers welded up, so now the batteries and everything fit, so that's great. Now we're gonna go ahead and take some just regular flat steel, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut it 9 inches by 9 inch square, and we're gonna put them on the bottom of each one of these, so that way we can actually hold all of our electronic components, and that way they don't fall through. We might even cut a vent into each one, so it allows it to suck up air and keep the electronics cool. I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, we'll see. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to cutting. I always recommend cleaning off the burrs. Like if you just cut a piece of metal, make sure you take a flappy disc and actually clean off the little metal burrs that it leaves, so that way it just looks a little nicer, and as well as you won't cut yourself, because trust me, I've had a lot of experience with cutting myself. So anyways, just a quick little tip for you guys. Alright guys, so we went ahead and we've got this all welded up, and it's the caps or everything. It's just really nice. It's actually got this air scoop right here. You kind of lets air in to cool off any of the components that we're going to be running. But now we're going to go ahead and actually mount on these wheels right here. Or I mean, not the wheel. We're going to go ahead and mount on the motor, make some holes for that, and we're going to make some holes for this bearing right here, so we can bolt down and basically mount the wheel. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright guys, so we've got the wheel mounted, we got the bearing mounted, we got it balanced just pretty good actually. It's not too unlevel, it's still got a little bit of this, but we're actually not going to worry about that problem for now, because that's going to be a wrap for today's episode. We actually got a lot done. We got the whole frame built, we got the wheel mounted. I even went ahead and put the switch in off camera, which I kind of regret now. But anyways, we actually ended up figuring out something very important, and that is that this motor is either burnt out or we just need a bigger one, because it barely even goes like this. So we might have to get a bigger one that goes out to here, which wouldn't be the best, but hey, actually this thing turned out really good. We're also going to buy some 30mm fans that are actually going to stick in right here along this front to cool off the batteries. It's going to be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to drop a like as well as a sub, because just like that, this video is over, and I'll see you guys in part 2.